Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Briefly introduce yourself.
I'm Dr. Ambuchi John. I'm a lecturer from the Department of Agriculture and Environmental Science. My specialty is on environmental issues, and currently I'm the chairman of the Students Electoral Commission.
Dr. Ambuchi, what measures have you put in place to ensure a free, fair, and transparent election?
We have put in many measures so far, because one of the things that we do is that everything that the commission does is open to the public. Starting from aspirants filling in the forms to be nominated, and scrutinizing of the forms, listing of those ones who qualify, those ones who do not qualify. We state the reason and why, and we post that information on a notice board. We post also on the social media, so that everyone is able to follow why somebody has been cleared to be an aspirant and why one has not been cleared. So the process is very transparent.
Thank you. How is the election committee ensuring inclusivity and equal representation in this year's election process?
We have ensured that there is equal representation because there are slots for students from all schools. We have gone beyond that. There are representation of students from different denominations. We have gone extra mile to have even representations from the hostels where the students live. So all that has been considered to ensure that every student is represented in the leadership of the university.
Basing on the data of the past elections, how are you encouraging students' participation in this election?
Students have sometimes they have not turned up to vote, and this time we encourage all the students to turn up for the elections. The elections will be very credible, they'll be fair, there will be transparency, there will be no intimidation of any kind, and we have ensured that we sensitize the students on the same to ensure that they turn up in large numbers. And this has been done by putting posters to encourage them, to tell them of the election date and so forth. So we encourage all of them to turn up for the election process.
Voters' education is important. What steps have you taken to educate students about the election process and their rights as voters?
We have done so by ensuring that we sensitize students to read through their Rusa constitution, the regulations, and we've been posting some of these particular articles on the website. The commissioners have been talking to the students to inform them of the essence of voting and to make sure that if they have any questions, they are clarified. So our office as commissioners, we have worked together in liaison with the dean of students, and anything that somebody has a query and so forth, they usually bring it forth, and we are there to answer those particular questions.
Thank you. You've talked about low turnout. In case there is low turnout these elections, how will you handle that?
That will be now for maybe the next election, but we don't anticipate to have low turnout. We want to sensitize students so that we can have high turnout. In fact, my commission tomorrow, we are going to give more information. We want to communicate to the notice board, to communicate to reach out students wherever they are, so that they can turn out for these particular elections. We know from previously there have been some agitation of the results and so forth, and that might have made some students to be reluctant to come and do the voting. But we want to encourage them, we want to communicate to them and tell them this is an election, and when they choose a leader who represents them well, then their welfare will also be well catered for. So we are there to sensitize them, to make sure that there is high turnout. But at the end of this particular process, we shall have information, we shall have data of how much the turnout has been, and therefore that will be used for the way forward, maybe going to the next election, what can be done to enhance the participation of the students in the election process.
What measures have been taken to prevent election malpractice, such as voter bribery or intimidation?
We are very keen on that, and one of these is that we have this information on the students' regulation, the students' constitution, the Rusa constitution. And like today, we had a meeting with all the aspirants at the dining hall. The meeting was to inform the aspirants that the process need to be very transparent, no bribery of any sort, no tribalism, no maybe voting in terms of religion and so forth, but only in terms of policies. So we are sensitizing them that when they go outside there, when they are campaigning, they should be decent in their campaigns and they should make sure that the election is done in the right manner. So this sensitization is ongoing. We shall again tomorrow meet with those ones who are vying for executive council, that is the chairperson, the secretary general. We shall meet together with even the security agencies of this particular county. This is to make sure that election is credible enough.
And talking of security, what security arrangements are in place to ensure smooth voting process on election day?
The security agencies are all involved, from the security from the university to the security outside the university. They have all been sensitized, they will all be there. In each and every polling station, there will be a security officer.
And in matters disputes, how will your committee handle disputes or complaints from candidates and voters?
Complaints are a part of the election process, and whenever there are complaints, us as the commissioners, we are non-partisan. We listen to all the complaints that reach us. Even now, during the nomination, there has been some complaints. And when the complaints come, we handle them in a credible manner because already it is stipulated in the constitution what should be done. And that's exactly what we are doing without any bias. So we have to make everything known. If somebody complains that this candidate was not approved genuinely, we ask that person, can you complain officially? So that when you get that complaint, written complaint officially and allegations, we now move to the next office and verify the facts. Is it true or it is just rumors? Because we know also in elections, some people can come up with rumors just to spoil for a given candidate. So we have to follow up and check. Our commission is very, very transparent and ready to work. And that's why we are here. The whole of this, until the process ends, we shall be available.
Thank you. On matters voting, what voting system will be used and how will you ensure accuracy?
Our voting system we use, it's manual. The ballots are already being prepared. They are being printed. And therefore, what we shall make sure is that we ensure the register. The register that will be used is current. And that's where we are working together with the admissions office. So the admissions office has furnished the commission with the current register. The students who are registered in the university, those are the ones who will be they are supposed to vote. And therefore, with that register, we shall be able to clear students to vote. And students are encouraged to have their identification in place. And this is where we don't expect students to maybe come to voting without identification. Because if you don't have an identification, how will you identify you as a student of Rongo University? So with the identification, with the register that we have, the current register, we are very sure that the process will go on well.
How will votes be counted and who will oversee the tallying process?
In each and every polling station, we have the clerk, we have the security person, we have the presiding officer, and we have commissioner. The commissioner is just to foresee. The one in charge of that particular polling station is the presiding officer. So the clerks will be there to issue the ballot to the voters. After that, when the voting is over, now it will be the matter of now counting. And that's where the presiding officer takes charge to count. And once they have finished counting, the winner is declared. The commissioner is there to ensure everything is done according to the law.
Thank you. Your parting shot.
My parting shot is this process is a very important process. Elections should be done in a democratic way, And as the Students Electoral Commission chairman, and on behalf of the commissioners, I invite every student to come and participate in this election. This election counts for each and every one of you as a student, because at the end of it all, the leaders will be the leaders that will lead all the students. And therefore, I encourage all the students to turn up. There should be no violence, because election will be conducted in a fair, transparent manner. It will be a credible election. And as a commissioner and the commission, we are not party to any bribery. Our office is open. When you observe anything as a student, come forth and report. And we shall deal with everything in a transparent manner and according to the law. The Rusa Constitution guides us to ensure this election is done in the right manner.
Thank you, Dr. Ambuchi.
Thanks so much for having me.